I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. So this week, I'm going to tell you a story from my single days, before I was married with 3 wonderful children. I've talked about it before, I love being married because I was very bad at being single. Not only was I bad at being single, but this is one of those stories where I have to admit I am not the smartest man in the world. And I talked about in another video, the one about trying to buy jewelry, that I don't really know much about girly things. I don't pretend to be a man's man or anything. I'm definitely not. I don't really like real sports, like football and baseball and stuff like that. I don't know crap about cars or building things. And I don't like my bass to be so loud that your dishes are vibrating in your house. However, just because I'm not that kind of a guy, doesn't mean I know about girly things too. I don't know anything about that stuff. Like I talked about, I don't know about jewelry. I don't know anything about fashion, clearly. And I don't know much about flowers. I know a little bit more after this experience. So like I said, I was single, I was very young, I was in my very early 20s. Like actually 20 or 21. Somewhere around there. And through happenstance, I met this girl. I was a little bit into her. She was kind of cute. Wanted to ask her out. And my best friend, who was married at the time, his wife made the suggestion. You know what you should do? You should send her some flowers. Which I was like, yeah, great, flowers. Great idea. Classy, gentlemanly, shows you like her, but isn't too forward. Perfect. So I decided to do just that. The next day I get off of work and I head over to a flower shop. And the poor lady working there had no idea what she was in for. Hi, how can I help you today? I was just hoping to get some flowers and send them to somebody. Okay, great. What kind of flowers would you like to send? Turns out I should have planned that before I went in there. I don't know. Well, what is she like? I don't know. Lilacs. I don't know. Lilies. I don't know. Sunflowers. I don't know. Daisies. I don't know. Chrysanthemums. Bless you. Orchids. I don't know. Because you see, the problem is she's naming these, and I don't even know what any of them look like. And actually, to this day, I don't really know what any of these look like. If you showed me pictures of all these different flowers and said, hey, which one is this? I'd look at you and go, it's like information I cannot keep in my brain. Because I just really don't care. And you may be asking, like, well, why would you go in there and not have any idea what kind of flowers to get? I don't know. It was a bad move. Probably should have had some idea. Discussing sending her flowers with my friend's wife, didn't think to say, hey, what kind should I send? Literally don't know what I was thinking. Like I was just going to walk in there and go, oh, that are pretty flowers. You know, pretty ones. The kind of flowers that are pretty. You know, the ones you look at and you go like, hey, those are kind of pretty. Those ones! Do you got those? But I will say this. If you watch the story about jewelry, this woman was much more helpful. Didn't make a difference, but she was much more helpful. She finally goes, you know what, how about we just go classic and do roses? Yes, okay, roses, great. I know what those look like. Okay, what color? I was not aware they came in different colors. Now, I know most of you go like, and just go simple and go with red, or just pick a random color. Because the one thing I did discuss with my friend's wife was she did mention, just be careful on what color you send. Why? What's the difference? Well, certain colors mean different things. Like white means... Now, I'd love to finish that conversation for you, but like I told you, I can't retain that kind of information because that is how much I don't care. It's the same issue I have with fixing cars. People have tried to tell me how to fix cars, but I can't retain the information. It's like part of my brain is going, the hell are you doing? I don't want that in here. Get it out. I have to leave space for vital information. Like why people are fooled by Clark Kent wearing glasses. Legit, because trying to remember back to what she told me about the different colors, my memory just came back like... So now I'm sitting there like... But again... The awesome worker at the flower shop, sensing that she is talking to a complete and total idiot, jumps in. You know what? Since we're going with classic roses, why don't we just go completely classic, dozen red roses? Good? Good idea. Then another problem. She then told me how much for a dozen red roses at her flower shop. And I did not think to bring that much money. You gotta remember I was young, living on my own, didn't have a whole lot of money. And I honestly didn't think in my mind that somebody would spend that much on something that's gonna die in 3 days. Especially with the delivery charge and everything. So I asked her, it turns out I don't have that much to spend on flowers. Can I just deliver like half a dozen? I'm sorry, but we have a policy here. We don't deliver any less than a dozen. But what we could do would be cheaper. You could buy 6 and just walk out with them and take them to her yourself. We just don't deliver less than a dozen. I didn't want to do that because that kind of defeated the purpose. I just wanted her to get some flowers, say they were for me, and if she liked them, give me a call. That was the whole plan. So I'm sitting there contemplating it, and she comes up with another idea. You know what? How about we go a little bit cheaper and you can do carnations? Now, it turns out that was a good idea, but it turned out I had no idea what carnations were. I hadn't even heard of them. When she said carnations, my brain went to, what? You want me to send her baby milk? What? Carnations. Isn't that a brand of baby milk and breakfast drinks? What? 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 Because of Carnation's Good Start, those commercials, that was the only thing I was thinking when I heard carnations. But she shows me the carnations. And they're nice. Cheaper than roses. And even suggested I just do an assortment of colors. Sure. Good. Then she asks a question that I have no excuse for not coming in having an answer for that one. Okay, let's get these set up. What's the address you want them sent to? Do you have an address for me to send them to? I kind of need that. I do. But I don't know it. I have no excuse for this one. At no point between the day before coming up with the idea to that point did it occur to me that I should probably get her address. Like, I knew where she lived. I knew how to get there. But I didn't know the number on the front of her house. I didn't really remember exactly which street she was on. Just ones around it. And it turns out they need exact addresses. Not only that, but again, I was in my very early 20s. This was before everybody had cell phones. So I didn't have a way to call somebody and go like, hey, what's her address? So I had to look at the poor flower lady and tell her, I didn't think to get an address. I know I should have. So I guess I'm just gonna have to come back another day. Not even mad at her. She deserved to give me that look. Now, I'd love to give you an amazing story that I came back triumphant the next day with an address. But you know what? I ended up calling the girl and talking a little bit. And it turned out she was dumber than soup, so I didn't pursue it any farther. But I did learn a valuable lesson. If you want to send somebody flowers, it's going to take some information. Now, you may be asking, did you ever learn from this? Have you ever sent your wife flowers? No, I have not. She's gotten flowers. But now I just walk over, grab some, and go, I'll take these, and I hand them to her myself. So there you have it. That's my story video this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Hopefully you can make me feel better, and one of you have had a horrible experience trying to send somebody flowers like I did. Love you guys.